And Swarnali, with that, it is all you.
Thank you, Jesse. Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon, all. I'm Swarali, and I work as a graduate statistics tutor at the University College. Today, I'll give you a brief introduction on R. Uh, yeah, let's begin. So, our agenda for today will be covering the orientation to R and R Studio, the basic syntax in R, and then Jesse will give you a brief about will brief you about the Graduate Academic Support Center. So yes, let's begin with the orientation to R and R Studio. So why R? So R is a programming language for statistical computing and graphics. It is also used to clean, analyze, and graph your data. It is basically widely used by the researchers from diverse disciplines to estimate and display results of the data which is being found out. So it is available as an open source platform, the latest version being 3.6.2. Uh, let's start with the environment setup. So you can download R from the link, and once you click on the download link, you can download the suitable link for your operating system, depending on Windows or Mac, which you have, OS you have. Once the executable file is downloaded, open that and run the file as administrator. Then the integrated development environment for R. So like other programming languages, R scripts can also be developed in IDEs. So R Studio, it is one of the most popular IDE for R. You can download the R software from the link given below. So if your local machine is not compatible for RStudio, you can access an online version of RStudio in the following link. So you can use this link basically to run the programs online instead if the IDE is not getting run on your PC. So how does the RStudio look like? So this is your workspace on the RStudio. You can create a new file from the file option given on the topmost left corner. This is the window, the numerical value 2 shows the R script window. You can write your code here, and the code can be run using the run option. The third numeric 3 points to the console or the output window. So whatever your output is, it will, whatever the output you have or the errors which are there in the program, if any, will be displayed in the console or the output window. Going to the fourth one. Uh, so this is again your workspace, your data on which you are running your data which is being used can be seen in the global and in the workspace here. R can also be used to plot different uh, bar charts, diagrams. So you can use the plot window function in the RStudio for doing the data visualization part. You can also install different packages using the package option, which is just next to the plots option. You also have a help window to view the documents icon. And and the eighth one, as we see, it displays the files in the working directory. So whatever files which you have uploaded uh, can be seen in this in the bottommost right corner. Now let's go to the basic syntax in R. Uh, so a variable is, let's start with a variable. A variable is used as a name storage. A variable can be assigned value in any of the three given ways. So these three types are given, methods are given. So var name is given the value, and here a leftward operator is used. We can see that the value is pointing towards the variable var name. Next, we have assigned the variable using the assignment operator, which is the equal to operator. Next, we are using the right word operator. It means that we are giving the variable value, the variable name. So these three types, using these three methods, we can use a variable. Now, to see the data type of a variable, we use the class function. So class inside the bracket, we can specify the variable name. In these cases, the variable names are the ones which appear on the left hand side. So all these values, var name, var underscore name, var underscore value, these are your variable names. To find the class data type of the variable, we use the inbuilt function class. We can also see the list of variables we use using is function. So in our workspace, we can use is function to find all the variables which we have used so far. We can also delete a variable using the rm function. So rm into bracket, the variable name. Rm is basically the short form for remove. Next, we will see the data types in R. So following are the 6 main important data types, basic data types in R. A vector. So a vector is a combination of multiple values, and all the values have the same data type. Data type as in all will be either integer values or will be either character values. So that can be stored in a vector. Then comes the list. List can contain many different type of objects, including vectors. Matrices, it is a two-dimensional data set. Arrays, it is a multi-dimensional data set. Factors, factors stores vectors along with labels. So this label part is very important. Factors, they store the vectors along with the label part. Data frames is the most commonly used data type in R. So it is basically a tabular data object which can have multiple types. We'll see what data types are in the upcoming slides. The next one is the operator. Uh, First one is the arithmetic operator, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then you have the relational operators, which tell you the relation between the two variables, which is greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. Then you have the logical operators, that is not, and, or, is true. So these are the basic common types of operators which are used in R. Then comes a very powerful statements, which is the decision making. Starting with the if statement. So the syntax, so if statements, the syntax of if is if and the condition which you want to put, and in the bracket you get the code to be executed. Say for example, I've assigned a variable x equal to 7, and then I want to check if x equal to 7, then print a code of line. So if x equal to 7 will go inside my if bracket. If else statement. The syntax of if else is the same. If into bracket your condition, and if this condition is satisfied, then the code will be executed. Then and then only it will come inside the bracket. Else, if the condition is not satisfied, the else code will be executed. Then is the decision making, which wherein you use the switch statement. So the syntax of switch statement is switch the expression, and you have different cases. We can have any number of cases in the switch statement. No default is available in switch. So you can do what you can do is when you want to have when you want to specify different conditions. Say suppose if x is greater than, if x divided by 2 equal to 0, then uh, then it is an even number. If x divided by 2 is not equal to 0, then it is an odd number. If you want to specify different cases, then you can use this switch statement. Then comes loop. Loop is used for executing multiple statements. So first one will see the for loop. So for loop executes statements multiple times. It checks the condition at the end. Then comes the repeat loop, repeats the code again the multiple times. So inside the for loop, you need to give the initialization, like the end start point, end point, and the increment. Same with the while loop, it executes the code till a condition is satisfied. So for example, while inside the bracket, I can say while n equal to 2, and then I can put some code to execute, like say print high. So and then n minus minus. So what it will do is until my n is equal to 2, it will print the statement that many number of times till the condition is satisfied. After the condition is satisfied, it will come out of the loop. Yeah, so let's dive deeper into how the format is for the for loop. So for the format is for any variable, say like x, in collection of values, you put the code to be executed. So what this for loop does is this loop iterates over a collection of values. Next one is the while loop. So while a condition in the bracket, and while this condition is true, this code will be executed. So it executes a set of statements till a condition holds true. As in when the condition becomes false, it comes out of the loop. Then a repeat loop. A repeat loop is the same again. So repeat if this condition, then it will go in, or else it will break. So a repeat loop execute a set of statements till a terminate statement is found. So this is very important in case of repeat loop. It executes till a terminate statement is found. Then the functions in R. Say suppose you want to define a function of yourself. You want to write a function. Then a function, you can write a set of functions. So a function is a set of statements combined together to perform a specific task. So the syntax for the same being function name. So your function name is the variable. You can write any. You can give any function name to your function. We have used the left word assignment operator and then function. Now function is the inbuilt function. So this name is not going to change, and then the arguments which you pass to your function. So these are the optional arguments, and then the set of statements which you want to execute. Then comes strings. So what are strings? So values written inside a single or double quotes are nothing but your strings. Quotes can't be mixed. The string R package provides a set of internally consistent tools for working with character strings. So this is the inbuilt package. We'll talk about packages later in this presentation. So you need to install this package for using the inbuilt functions. So some of the inbuilt functions for string manipulation are str detect. So what this function will do is it will find this pattern, the pattern which you will provide in the string which you have given, and it will return true or false based on this result. Then you have str underscore count, which will calculate how many times this pattern is getting repeated in this string. Then you have str underscore sub, which is nothing but a substring. So what it will do is it will find the string it will print the string, and from the starting point to the end point. So these are some of the inbuilt functions. Then we'll go to a bit higher version of in R. Let's dive deeper into the vector part. So vectors, as we know, they are the basic R objects, and there are 6 vectors can be defined in 6 types. The character vectors, which is the capital ABC as well as the small abc. You have double, wherein you can use the decimal format, you can use the complex format, complex data type for defining your vectors. Then you can use the raw format, integer format, that is the integers, and the logical formats, which is either true or false, 1 or 0. So these data types can be used for defining R. Then we will see the matrix, arrays, and lists. So arrays, what are arrays? They're used to store the ordered list of values. So this is how the indices are given starting from 1 to 7, and the array is stored in the data, and the values are stored in the data structure. So the difference between the array and the list is, in arrays, all these values will have a similar data type. Whereas in the list, you can store values which have different data types. So like I can store numeric values, character values inside the list. But if I have data which is having the similar data type, then I can go with array. Then comes the data frames. So where are data frames used? So basically data frames are used when you want to display your data into a tabular format. So our data frames are table-like data structures. Each column contains values of each variable, whereas each row contains one set of values related to each column. The column names are non-empty. Row names should be unique, and the syntax is the variable name. This is user defined. We have used the leftward operator, data dot frame, and the values. Now, data frame is your inbuilt function. It will tell it will it will tell that these values need to be displayed in a tabular format. Next is data reshaping. Many a times you want to combine the data, or you need to merge data from two columns, two tables, say. Then you use the different inbuilt functions which are provided in R using the data reshaping option. So we might sometimes need to reshape data in R. So some of the inbuilt functions for reshaping data are as follows. It is cbind. So what it will do is it will combine the data frames by columns. Next is the rbind, as R stands for row, combines data frames by rows. And in these brackets, you need to mention the columns or the rows which you want to combine. And next is the merge option. So merge any two rows or columns together. Next is the packages, the R packages. So in order for you to run the inbuilt functions smoothly, you need to install different packages before running those. So R packages are a collection of functions and sample data. There are some functions in R that are helpful with packages. So library, it gives a list of all available packages. So if you run this function, if you run this, and you'll get a list of all the available packages. Install.packages to install a new package manually. So, and this is the path: library, package name, library location equal to path of library, to load a package to the library. So before running any of the inbuilt functions like cbind, rbind, you need to install these packages and libraries uh, for it to run smoothly. Thank you. Now, Jesse will guide you through the Graduate Academics Support Center.
Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? I'll just talk very briefly about our Graduate Academic Support Center. So Raleigh, if you'll advance to the next slide.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have two forms of help for any of our grad students. Those are graduate writing tutoring and then also graduate statistics tutoring. So graduate writing tutoring, you can meet with a tutor to discuss applied projects, theses, dissertations, and get feedback at any stage of the writing process. And then we also have graduate statistics tutoring. So you can meet with a tutor to discuss statistical concepts, and then also ask questions about statistical software as well. And kind of the same thing, you can discuss coursework, any applied projects, or research projects. And next slide. And all of our services for graduate students are offered online. Those are all one-on-one with a peer tutor, and those will be 60-minute appointments via Zoom. So just know that kind of everything is done over Zoom, and our hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and then Sunday, 5 to 9 p.m. All of these times are in Arizona time. And then if you'll advance to the next slide. And we do also have additional graduate support options. We have these workshops, so we don't just have statistical concepts. We also have writing workshops, and those are presented live over Zoom. And then we also do have those recordings as well. And then we also offer graduate writing camps. So there is 2 kind of summer camps, the Success in Graduate Writing, and then also Dissertation Writing Camp. And both of those are essentially time for you to talk about whatever dissertation or master's project that you are working on. Those are facilitated by some of our faculty and then other staff within the graduate colleges. And they're kind of a really good time that is kind of set aside for you to write. And then we also have resources to get you started on a graduate support group for writing, if that is something you are interested in. And all of our information is found on tutoring.asu.edu/graduate. And if you'll advance, Raleigh, to the next slide.
Yes.
So yeah, I do want to reiterate our website. That is going to be the best place to go if today's presentation went a little fast for you guys, or if you have follow-up questions or comments, then I would really strongly urge you to schedule an appointment with one of our graduate statistics tutors. The best place to do that is going to be on our website at tutoring.asu.edu. And then you can always call us if you're having trouble navigating the website or you want to talk to someone at that number. And then we do also have a Slack channel. But the best place to contact us is going to be on our website. And I would strongly urge you, if as you're working through R, if you have follow-up questions or concepts that you want to go over, that you make an appointment. And we'll stick around for questions. I do see one that I can answer now that is asking if the slides will be shared. So yes, the recording and the slides will get sent out within 24 hours of this presentation. So for all of you that attended, you will get that in your email. And then for anyone that didn't attend, if you have friends or something that might be interested in this, it will be posted on our website. And any other questions?
Through the platform. Jesse, are we going to have any other session that goes through the platform like the R Studio, the working?
No, not at this time. So Jason, to answer your question, Probably the best way to answer that would be that this is the only presentation or workshop that we're going to have on R, but then we will have another one on SPSS. If you are looking for more resources, then what I would recommend is that you then schedule an appointment and then someone can kind of go through a little more in depth about R. But yeah, this is the only workshop that we're going to have about R. So Raleigh, I'll let you answer this one. If people are looking for use cases or examples, do you have resources that you usually use or that you have available to share?
Use cases, examples that can be shared, but with, like, can you please elaborate? Okay. Like, where do you want the example exactly? In what case? I mean an application of the concepts to a real world business problem. Yeah, I mean, you can use R to work on the data set. So say suppose you are given a data set of the stock prediction and you've been told to visualize the data. So you can use R and then R Studio eventually to visualize the stock market, the analysis of the stock market. And you can also predict the values. You can use the prediction, you can use the regression lines in the R Studio for solving this type of problems, to visualize this type of problems. There's no standard package as such. It depends on the type of problem which you have. Yeah, it depends. It changes from like problem to problem. There's no standard package as such. You're welcome. Yeah.
And if anyone has any other questions, now is a good time to ask. And I'll give everyone a couple more minutes. If you think of questions, now would definitely be a good time to ask, as we have our lovely tutors for Raleigh here with us. If there are no further questions, then we will go ahead and end this in a few minutes. And then just a reminder that we will post that recording and also send that recording and the slides to you all. And that if you have more questions or as you're working more in depth with R, then we definitely urge you, if you're running into problems, to then schedule an appointment with one of our tutors.